Hello everyone, I'm Arima Khanam and welcome back to Balajee online classes. I'm once again here to illustrate lesson number 10, that is The Red Room. It is a story, a scary story, a bit scary it is. It is written by H.G. Wells, who was an English author best known for his work of science and fiction. His famous novels include The Time Machine, as you have read already about The Time Machine in your previous class, The Island of Dr. Moreau, The Invisible Man, and The War of the World. So these are the books and writings of H.G. Wells. So we'll be reading one more story written by him. So students, do you believe in ghost and supernatural powers? कुछ बच्चे होंगे जो बिलीव करते होंगे, कुछ लोग होंगे जो बिलीव नहीं करते होंगे. Here's the story of a brave young man who decides to prove that ghost does not exist. Read on to find out what happened to him on that frightful night which he spent alone inside a great haunted room in an old castle. So this is a story of a brave young man who wanted to prove that ghost does not exist. So here we go. Let's read it and understand what is the story about and whether it is scary or not, whether it will scare us or not. I can assure you, said I, that it will be very difficult for me to be frightened. I do not believe in ghosts. Indeed, if ghosts do exist, they will have to work very hard to scare me. And I stood up before the fire with my glass in my hand. So what happened? The writer, he himself is narrating the story and he's telling that I'm not scared of ghosts and nobody can scare me. You people say that there are ghosts in the castle, but I need to get the proof and I will live there and I will prove it that ghost does not exist. It is your own choice, said the man with the wrinkled arm and glanced at me hesitantly. So you can see a man with the wrinkled face. He is telling the writer that it is your choice. If you don't believe in ghosts, so it is up to you. But we do. We do believe in ghosts and there exists ghosts. I am 28 years old and I have never ever seen a ghost in my life. I simply don't believe in them, said I. So the writer is saying, I am 28 years old and I have never seen any ghost. I have never heard about them, so I don't believe them. The old woman sat staring hard into the fire, her pale eyes wide open. She broke in with a monotonous tone. But in all these 28 years, you have never seen a house like this. It is full of tragedies and sorrows. So the old lady that you can see in the picture, page number 65, she's saying, hey, you must be the man who does not believe in ghosts, but you must have not seen a house like this in 28 years. The house is full of tragedies and sorrows. So what happened? I half suspected that the old people were speaking so gloomily to enhance queerer nature of the house that they had been looking after. Well, I said, let's see if I meet the ghost. So the writer is actually going to stay in the castle and especially in the red room and discover whether there are ghosts or not. So the nature was quite strange of the people over there. Then I heard someone entering the house. From his slow footstep, it sounded that he was older than the two people sitting before me. True enough, an old wrinkled man walked into the room with the help of a crutch. On one eye, he wore a patch. In fact, all three old people themselves looked like ghosts. That is, if the ghost existed, their clothes, manners, speech, all belonged to the past. So what happened? He said another person came, the third person came that you can see in the picture, looks very scary. He came with the crutches and he had a patch on his one eye. He was holding a lamp in his hand, and the writer said three of them looked like ghosts, and if ghosts exist, according to him, their clothes, manners and speech all belong to the past. कुछ भी लेटेस्ट नहीं होगा, सब कुछ पास्ट से बिलोंग करता होगा. उनके कपड़े, उनके मैनर या उनका वे ऑफ स्पीकिंग, इट ऑल बिलोंग टू द पास्ट. "It is your choice, dear boy," said the old man one more time. So the old man, he also said the same thing, that it is your choice, it is up to you whether you believe in ghosts or not. It is. Now please tell me, where is this infamous haunted red room where I am to spend the night? I asked. So the writer asked, "Tell me, where is the red room? I need to spend the night over there and discover whether is anything really there." "Well, if you are insistent on doing that, you must go there alone. We have never had the courage to go there. There is a candle outside. Light it to see the way. Walk along the passage till you come across a spiral staircase. Climb, and then you will see a door which is covered with a green cloth. Enter the corridor. Through the door. The red room is the last one at the end of the corridor," finished the old man. So they told the address of the red room, and the writer was about to go there. I walked along the dark and shadowy corridors to reach the red room. So along the shadowy corridors, he went into the red room. Dark shadows danced across. So he was thinking that dark shadows were dancing across him, and he was a bit terrified. I dare not look behind. The corridor smelled humid. तो जब हम घर बंद कर देते हैं तो it smells weird. So the corridors over there smelled humid. But before I reached the room, I thought I saw shadows of people huddled together. तो जब वो रूम में पहुंचने वाला होता है, वो सोचता है कि कुछ shadows हैं, they are crowded together and they are going to attack him. Shaken, I demanded that they show themselves. Not getting a response, I went forward, but it turned out to be a statue. तो वो जाता गया, उसने बिल्कुल भी रेस्पॉन्स नहीं दिया, और उसके बाद उसको पता चलता है he is humid. But before I reached the room, I thought I saw shadows of people huddled together. तो जब वो रूम में पहुंचने वाला होता है, वो सोचता है कि कुछ shadows हैं, they are crowded together and they are going to attack him. Shaken, I demanded that they show themselves. Not getting a response, I went forward, but it turned out to be a statue. तो वो जाता गया, उसने बिल्कुल भी रेस्पॉन्स नहीं दिया, और उसके बाद उसको पता चलता है he discovered that it was just a statue. The great red room of the Lorraine castle was big and dark that the light of the candle could not illuminate the whole room. The red room of the Lorraine castle was so big that a candle could not lit up the whole room. Apprehensive, I recalled the memory of my friend who last stayed here and was found dead the next morning. I also remember other people who died staying in this room. I decided to make a complete survey of the room so that nothing would surprise me. Then I lit all the candles in the room and drew away all the curtains to make sure somebody hid behind them. Additional light was cast by the huge fireplace, for which I was thankful. So there was a fireplace also. He lit up the fireplace. He lit up all the candles in the room so that the room is totally illuminated, and there will be no shadow, and the man will not feel scared by staying over there. Then I sat down on a big chair and used the table as a barricade. So he sat on the chair and used the table as a barricade, as a barrier. He used it. I sat there waiting in solitude. So he was all alone. He was in solitude. He waited for the ghosts and spirits to come to him. I admit I gradually became increasingly conscious of the shadows dancing across the room. I felt an odd sensation of something, maybe presence, lurking around. I was soon nervous. Suddenly at midnight, 2 candles blew out. I dashed to relight them. Then 2 more extinguished. At the end of the room, I thought to myself, I must have done that myself in my hurry to light the other. I dared to light these 2, but only to have more candles dying off as if they were crashed by somebody's hand. So what happened? He lit all the candles in the room and he was sitting on the chair, a big chair, and a barricade, a table was used as a barricade, and he was waiting for the spirits to reach him. But what happened? The candles gradually started extinguishing, and the candles were all extinguished and the room became dark again, and he was a bit nervous now. So what happened? Steady, I comforted myself. However, much to my growing apprehension, the candle in my own hand blew off. So the candle which was in his hand, जो उसके हाथ में कैंडल थी, वो भी बुझ जाती है. Shaken, I thought of the fireplace and felt grateful for that constant light. तो जो fireplace थी, as you can see in the picture on page number 67, वो जलती रही और उसके लिए वो बहुत ही thankful था, जिसकी वजह से पूरे रूम में लाइट थी, and he could see everything clearly. But much to my horror, that very moment of the flames dwindled and vanished. So the flames of the fireplace also extinguished and they were vanished. Not able to bear it any longer, I ran across the room towards the door. So he was scared a bit, so he went to the door in order to get out of the room. So he wanted to go out of the room, so he was standing at the door. So what happened then? I thought I found the door, but I tripped over my chair and then the bed. So he tripped over the chair and the bed, and what happened? Half out of my mind and crying out aloud, I tried running. So he wanted to run away from that room, but क्या होता है? He tripped over the chair and the bed और वो hit हो जाता है, वो वहाँ पर गिर जाता है. Last memory was of being hit by something and then falling into deep sleep. तो क्या होता है? जब वो गिर जाता है, वो बेहोश हो जाता है, and he went to a deep sleep. I woke up the next morning with my head bandaged and surrounded by the three old people. And where I am, I asked. I seem to remember you, and yet I cannot remember who you are. So what happened? Next morning when he woke up, he was all fine and there was a bandage on his head. He said कि where am I? मैं कहाँ पर हूँ? आप लोग कौन हैं? मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि मुझे सब पता है, but I cannot remember. They hold me then, and I heard of the haunted red room. We found you at the dawn, said he, and there was blood on your forehead and lips. Soon I remembered. You believe now, said the old man, that the room is haunted. So the people over there who were talking to the writer, they said, "Okay, now do you believe that there are ghosts in the red room?" So what did he say? Yes, said I, the room is haunted. So the writer said, yes, I believe that the room is haunted. Tell us who the ghost is. Is it the Earl or the Countess? No, said I, it is not. There is neither ghost of the Earl nor the ghost of the Countess in that room. There is no ghost there at all. But worse, far worse. So वो कहता है कि वहां पर कुछ नहीं है, कोई गोस्ट नहीं है, पर सबसे खराब चीज क्या है? That exists there is the worst of all the things that haunt poor mortal man, said I, and that is fear. तो उस रूम में क्या है? कुछ नहीं है, कोई स्पिरिट नहीं, कोई गोस्ट नहीं है, सबसे खराब चीज वहां पर है डर. It is the fear itself that is beyond any reason and understanding. It is fear that haunts the imagination of men and increase the awareness of even the simplest thing. तो वहां पर जो डर है वो लोगों को मारता है और लोगों के दिल में बैठा हुआ है कि इसमें गोस्ट है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. I told you yesterday also that ghost does not exist. I stopped abruptly. There was an interval of silence. और वो एकदम से रुक जाता है और पिन ड्रॉप साइलेंस हो जाता है वहां पर. It is the fear that follows you through the corridor so that you dare not turn. फिर क्या होता है? वो जो डर है जो आपको कॉरिडोर तक ले जाता है, it fought against me in the room. और वो डर ही मेरे साथ लड़ता है और क्या होता है? मैं बेहोश हो जाता हूँ और सबको लगता है कि अगर मैं मर जाता तो लोगों को लगता है कि गोस्ट ने मुझे मारा. But I was not scared. There is fear in that room. So what exists in that room is only and only fear. Dar. Plain black fear. I finished. So he said, only fear exists in that room and nothing else, and he finished. So I hope you must have understood my illustration. The poem is quite easy and interesting. Please do read the lesson thoroughly and you will understand everything, and if you don't understand, watch my video. I'll illustrate it to you and you will understand everything. So please, students, download the exercises from School Mitra and do it in your fair copies and books. And till then, take care of yourself and wait for my next video. Bye bye.